Lamborghini Reventon. Built as one of the most exclusive Lamborghinis of its time, the Reventon was limited to just 20 coupe units and a small number of roadsters, making it instantly out of reach for most people. It's based on the Murcielago platform and powered by a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 producing around 650 horsepower and 487 pound-feet of torque. What truly sets it apart is its design, heavily inspired by stealth fighter jets, with sharp, angular bodywork and a matte gray finish that mimics military aircraft. Inside, it features a digital instrument cluster styled like an aviation display, something very rare at the time. Even when new, it carried a price tag well over $1 million, and today its value has increased significantly, placing it firmly in collector territory where ownership is less about driving and more about preservation. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. This model is one of the most extreme examples of Lamborghini's focus on lightweight engineering, with production limited to around 20 units worldwide. Powered by a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 producing 570 horsepower, the real story is its weight, coming in at just over 2,200 pounds thanks to extensive use of carbon fiber throughout the entire structure. The name itself refers to carbon being the sixth element on the periodic table. It's not street legal, which immediately limits who can actually use it, and instead it's designed purely for track driving. The interior is stripped down to the bare essentials, with seats molded directly into the carbon fiber chassis. Combined with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 2.5 seconds, it delivers an experience closer to a race car than a road vehicle, making it both rare and inaccessible for everyday drivers. Lamborghini Veneno. Created to celebrate Lamborghini's 50th anniversary, the Veneno is one of the rarest and most aggressive-looking cars the brand has ever produced. Only 3 coupe versions were originally sold to customers, with a handful of additional roadsters produced later. It uses a 6.5-liter V12 engine generating around 740 horsepower and 507 pound-feet of torque. The design is extremely radical, focused almost entirely on aerodynamics, with massive vents, a huge rear wing, and a body that looks more like a prototype race car than something built for the street. Its original price exceeded $4 million, and its rarity has pushed its value even higher. Even among wealthy collectors, owning a Veneno is a status symbol that very few can achieve. Lamborghini Centenario Coupe. Built to honor the 100th birthday of founder Ferruccio Lamborghini, the Centenario Coupe was limited to just 20 units, with an additional 20 roadsters produced. It's powered by a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 producing 759 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque, making it one of the most powerful Lamborghinis at the time. Performance is exceptional, with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of under 3 seconds and a top speed exceeding 217 miles per hour. The design blends aggressive aerodynamics with a more refined, futuristic look compared to the Veneno. Inside, it introduced more advanced infotainment features and a larger touchscreen system. Like most limited Lamborghinis, it sold out before production even began, ensuring that only a small group of collectors would ever have access to it. Lamborghini Sián FKP37. The Sián represents Lamborghini's first step into electrification, combining a 6.5-liter V12 with a supercapacitor-based hybrid system. Total output reaches around 819 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful Lamborghinis ever built. Production is extremely limited, with 63 coupes and 19 roadsters, numbers chosen to reflect the year Lamborghini was founded. The use of a supercapacitor instead of a traditional battery allows for rapid energy discharge, improving acceleration without adding significant weight. The design features Y-shaped lighting elements and active cooling vanes that open and close based on temperature. With a price tag well over $3 million and instant collector demand, it's a car that most people will only ever see in photos or museums. Lamborghini Countach LPI 804. This modern reinterpretation of the iconic Countach blends retro design with contemporary technology, but it's just as exclusive as the models that inspired it. Limited to 112 units, a number referencing the original Countach's internal project name. It uses a hybrid-assisted 6.5-liter V12 producing a combined 803 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. The design closely mirrors the classic Countach silhouette while incorporating modern lighting, aerodynamics, and materials. Inside, it combines vintage-inspired styling with current luxury features. Despite being road legal, its extremely limited production and high price ensure that it remains inaccessible to most enthusiasts, quickly becoming a collector's piece rather than a daily driver. Lamborghini Lanzador. Unlike the other vehicles on this list, the Lanzador represents Lamborghini's future rather than its past. It's an all-electric concept car designed as a high-riding grand tourer, expected to produce over 1,300 horsepower through dual electric motors. While it's not yet a production vehicle, its exclusivity comes from its concept status and the fact that early versions and limited production models will likely be reserved for high-end buyers and collectors. The design blends sharp Lamborghini styling with a more practical, elevated body shape, signaling a shift toward electrification. Because it's still in development, most people will never experience it firsthand, especially in its earliest and most exclusive forms. Lamborghini 350 GT is Lamborghini's very first production car. The 350 GT holds immense historical value, which makes it rare in a completely different way. Only about 120 units were ever built between 1964 and 1966. It's powered by a 3.5-liter V12 producing around 280 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Modest by today's standards, but groundbreaking at the time. The design is much more understated compared to modern Lamborghinis, reflecting the grand touring style of the 1960s. Because of its age and significance, surviving examples are incredibly valuable and carefully preserved, meaning they're rarely driven and almost never available to the general public. Lamborghini Miura. Often considered the first true supercar, the Miura is one of the most iconic vehicles in automotive history. Produced between 1966 and 1973, with just under 800 units made across all variants, it introduced the mid-engine layout that would define future supercars. It's powered by a 3.9-liter V12, producing between 350 and 385 horsepower depending on the version. The design is elegant and flowing, a stark contrast to the sharp edges of later Lamborghinis. Its historical importance and limited production make it one of the most valuable classic cars in the world, ensuring that ownership is limited to serious collectors. Lamborghini Countach 5000S. As one of the later evolutions of the original Countach, the 5000S helped define the bold, angular styling Lamborghini became known for. Produced in limited numbers during the early 1980s, it features a 4.8-liter V12, producing around 375 horsepower and 302 pound-feet of torque. The wide stance, scissor doors, and aggressive proportions made it an instant icon. Today, its rarity and cultural significance have driven values extremely high, making it difficult for anyone outside of the collector market to own one. It represents a time when Lamborghini fully embraced its identity as a builder of dramatic, high-performance machines. Lamborghini Aventador J. This is one of the most extreme and exclusive Lamborghinis ever created, with only a single unit ever produced. Based on the Aventador platform, it features a 6.5-liter V12, producing around 691 horsepower and 509 pound-feet of torque. What makes it truly unique is its design. It has no roof, no windshield, and minimal protection from the elements, making it essentially a road-legal race car. The interior is stripped down and coated in a special carbon fiber material called carbon skin. Because it's a one-off vehicle, it was sold to a private collector and will likely never be driven in a normal sense, making it one of the most unattainable Lamborghinis ever built. Lamborghini Fenomeno. Rumored to be one of the most exclusive Lamborghini projects ever developed, the Fenomeno is expected to be based on the Aventador platform, but taken to an even more extreme level in both design and performance. Reports suggest it could use a heavily modified version of the 6.5-liter V12, producing well over 750 horsepower, possibly pushing closer to 800 horsepower depending on final tuning. Production numbers are believed to be extremely limited, potentially under 30 units, which immediately places it in the same category as models like the Reventon and Centenario. The design is expected to be far more aggressive, with sharper aerodynamics and unique bodywork that separates it from standard production models. If fully realized, it would be aimed strictly at top-tier collectors, making it nearly impossible for the average person to ever own or even see in person.